So today I'm here with Chubby, and Chubby is going to help me do a grooming demonstration. It's become clear to me in the last few years that there's a bit of a skills gap when it comes to grooming your horse, especially when it comes to currying your horse. So Chubby is on long-term disability here and thinks he's gone feral, so a little grooming attention won't hurt. He's also one of the most sensitive horses you can ever find. He's very, very, very touchy. You can just touch him all over and he doesn't like it. He's very ticklish. And so he's gonna show that you can groom your horse and really curry hard without hurting them or bugging them. So I have a couple different types of tools that I use. I like this, which is just the plastic flower, which I thought was super gimmicky, but turns out gets caked on mud off really well. I like these small little finger curry combs when they have shorter hair or on their face, and when they've got really long hair and caked on mud. I like to use the metal, I forget what it's called, the metal thingy. But this you have to be pretty careful with, because this will dig into their skin a bit if you're not careful. This is a shutting blade. Took me a minute, but yeah, we're not gonna use this today. This little plastic thingy does a good job even with long hair. So, alright, so he's pretty fluffy. But one thing that I see that drives me absolutely crazy is people take their curry combs and they kind of brush with them. I'm not saying don't do that, but you need to really get in there. Push hard. Not super hard, but you can put some pressure on there. They kind of like it, especially with the long hair. They get itchy, and it gets the dirt and grime off of them. But too many people I see they take the curry comb and they kind of brush around. And the other thing too is you don't want to take anything hard and really grind down on their spine or any bony bits. But right next to them, really massage, it's kind of like a massage when you're getting ready to ride. Helps warm up their back. But I'm pushing pretty hard. You can hear it and you can see all the dirt and dust and grime flying off. And he's not too bothered. You can see him get all touchy there. I know you don't like it. So we just go a little lighter. We've got a bunch of crap from laying down and kind of wet ground. And it's important to get all that hard sticky stuff off, especially right here where he was laying down. And in these areas I'm a little more careful because they are more sensitive. Obviously their legs, they have bones, so when I'm down here I do use this particular curry to kind of brush some of the hard stuff off and loosen it up for when I go in with a stiff brush. But get all that caked on mud under their bellies. If you don't get the grime and the hard caked on mud or shit or whatever your horse has that's in these crevices, or one thing that drives me nuts is right here on the back of their hocks. Just go really gentle, but this spot is always got hard mud and dirt on it, and that every time they move it pulls on them, and it also causes sores if you don't get it off. So even if your horse lives in the field, bring them in kind of just get that shit off the back of their hocks a little bit. I know Chubby's not a kicker, or historically. You know, just don't let the opportunity for sores and other skin issues develop. And that kind of leads into when do you blanket and when not to. And I try to not blanket very much because mine aren't body fit, but the time I do blanket is when it's wet. So if it's wet out, that increases their chance for rain rot and other skin issues. So especially if you've got a horse with very sensitive skin, you want to make sure that you're bringing them in, you're grooming them, putting a blanket, a raincoat, it doesn't have to be a heavy blanket, on during the rain if they're out in the rain. If you don't blanket, even with the raincoat in the rain, then making sure that you bring them in and you groom the top of them, and don't, especially in these areas right here along the spine where that water can kind of sit and